why is it that we don't have a great, or not so many at least, so many great football, soccer movies?
Watching this scene, it has to remind me of a film I watched yesterday, Summer '92. It was your tip, Bas. Of course, you're the Scandinavian movie friend here. It's a movie about the Danish football team of winning the Euro Championship '92.
I would talk. I've got it maybe selected.
Okay, the only thing I wanted to, because referring to the speech of Al Pacino in like American dramatic movie style, if you compare that to the Danish movie style, the Danish way of life, the Danish mentality, that was also a speech I was touched about, but it was done way differently. I think
in a European Nordic way. But I have to say, like this is I watched this movie this weekend, and I will talk about it later on more. But I have to say, this was the first football movie, soccer movie that I've seen that gave me the goosebumps. What a lot of those American movies always do, because they are easy on playing on the heartstrings for that reason. Like they really get you to feel things. But this was the first European one, so I found that interesting, because before I haven't really found a good football or soccer movie. And before, when I was thinking about it, like you said, I was also thinking like, maybe that's because of also like it's very big in Europe, football. We make good movies in Europe. But maybe the culture and the mentality in Europe is just different, so that's why we don't have those very emotional, high emotion movies. Maybe
I think a reason also is that you can't make really good football movies, soccer, football movies, is because it's always hard to combine good acting with and covering that you're a weak athlete. And that is mostly like the trigger field.
Especially also when you have to have like 24 actors that can play football on a high level, of course. Yeah.
And for example, and you need a great personal story because you can't act how good a football player was on the field.
Right.
But you need it with every sport. I think it's not only football. Because
that's what I wanted to say. That's the problem that other movies also have in the US, I would say.
If you
got stuck.
Even agree. If you want to, for example, make a movie about Lionel Messi, you have to make a different story than his qualities on the field, because this is something you cannot reflect. So.
But that's with every sports movie, I would say. So what's the difference then? Why are not we?
No, I don't think so. There are tennis movies that they compensate, and they don't. It shows that they're really playing then on that level. The Borg versus McEnroe is a movie that you don't see that there are actors doing it. For stunt actors, they hired some tennis players to do the shots for sure. But they can compensate that. But football, the individual tricks of a guy like Messi or Ronaldo, I don't think it's so easy to do on a big field with a lot of people around it. That's a problem, I think.
Yeah, but you can always, what you often see with those kind of movies, also in the US, you can always make a cut from a close shot on the face to a close shot on the trick being done. If you make a quick montage, you can always get away with that. That's not.
I remember.
And what they did really good with Summer '92, the Danish movie, is I think they used original footage, and they made cutaways with the actors.
Well, let's just talk a bit about that now.
Yeah.
Now that we're at it, we're gonna have our top 10 later on. It's more or less starting now, but let's say because I have 4 instead of 3, and I want to pick Sommeren '92. As my number 10 then, the number 10. But like you said, what they did really well is that they used images of the real. You haven't seen it, right, Koen, yet?
No, I didn't get time.
So they used images of the real European Championship in 1992. So you saw images of the matches against Holland. It was a bit painful, but still I was rooting in a way for the Danish in that movie. Matches, real images of all the matches, and that makes that you connect more to the footage. but they intercut it with shots of the actors that played the football players, like Michael Laudrup and Schmeichel and Brian Laudrup, also Michael Laudrup. They intercut it, so you saw, but they made it a bit dramatic. So in like a very arty way, they made those shots. So that it really connected really well. It was really well done, because it can easily become very bad if you want to recreate the stance and everything, and then intercut it.
But it's a real movie, so like the actors are playing those players, right?
Yeah. So in short, what the movie is about, in 1992, for the people that don't know, in 1992, Denmark didn't qualify for the European Championship football. Yugoslavia became first in the qualifying group, but because of the political situation in Yugoslavia got kicked out of the tournament just before the tournament began.
10 days.
Yeah, 10 days. And then the European Football Association said, okay, the second in your qualifying group, that was Denmark, you are allowed now to go to the European Football Championship in Sweden. Yeah. But all those players were already out and about on their vacation, and they were all taking their time off. And then they called, like, nice. Yeah, guys, we're going to play. Are you in? So they came together just a week or 10 days before the tournament.
They heard on the radio that they were selected for the Euros.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know the story. Awesome. Nice.
Yeah, well, so...
There were no mobile phones, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I imagine, of course, yeah.
That's how they got.
All these details, they're really good done. Like,
but don't tell, not too many spoilers, please, because I still want to watch it. You know?
But well, it's not a spoiler in that way. Like, yeah, well, why is it such a great story? Well, in the end, they win the title. So that's the story, and the story is told from the perspective of the coach, a coach that is not loved in Denmark. But I won't give any spoilers for the rest of it, because you have to see it.
The name, you can give the name.
What was his name? Müller?
Yeah,
something Müller. Something Müller.
Richard.
Yeah.
Olaf Müller. Something like
that. So yeah, it tells perspective. It tells it from his perspective, and then you have the actors playing the famous players. But it's comedic. It's the intro even reminded me a bit of Trainspotting in a way, and.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool. very well.
Sounds very good. This.
Yeah, I really liked it. That's why I thought, like, well, okay, of course it's recent in my memory now, but I felt like, yeah, actually, I think I'm gonna put this one in the top 10 that we're gonna make.
But the shots that you were talking about, when they use the real footage, and then they also put the same kind of filter to make it look realistic.
Well, what they did to make like a bit of a lonely shot. So you had the pitch, you saw the coach, and there's some kind of smoke behind it, and one spot aimed on him. So it was really a dramatized shot.
Cool.
And mostly slow motion close-ups when it was about a sliding tackle or hitting the ball. And then they were like cutaways to the total shot, you know, from TV when you watch a football game, for example.
Nice.
Yeah, so it was very well done. Very well done way of telling the story without it getting bad. And of course, there were some cuts in the movie that you saw that the actor took a run towards the ball, especially I think in the final, and then they cut it, and then you saw that the ball went exactly in the. Well, it was with the coach actually. The ball went exactly in the top corner. While you saw when the actor shot the ball that it was actually more going like this. So
of course, yeah. But maybe you're answering your own question. Like, in this way they made it. Maybe it is now possible to make proper quality football movies.
Yeah. It was a 2015 movie, so it's relatively new.
Oh, it's pretty old, yeah.
But
it's new,
if I
but
see this with quite low budget, I guess. It's possible to make a good football movie. Just make a good story. This story was already out there, of course, but I would challenge everybody that loves script writing, write a good football story. Sven,
there are a lot of
journalists.
Well, I want to mention a Dutch movie which being released, I think 2 or 3 years ago. It's called Catacomben. It's and what they did there was like the main actor is. Also a rapper, Willem de Bruin. He plays a football player in like a really subdivisioned club, and he's like an experienced defender. And the story is about that he is under the power of being match fixed by huge powers from China. Yeah, well, which is kind of real.
Real. Yeah, of course, yeah.
But the point I want to make, he got in training with like a formal football player to get some basic skills, which so he was like passing a ball, controlling a ball, sliding, make like a body touch with the shoulder, all these things that they were technically from like an accepting level, so they could like make semi close-ups. So you have like his actions were like zoomed in on the pitch, and so everything he was doing that was looking good, and the rest so not the whole team had to play good, so only he. So they invested only in his qualities, and so they gave him some training. So everything that he would do that was looking acceptable. There's also a way of doing it.
Yeah, cool.
Nice.
So there is ways. Let's hope, like you said, Koen, that this movie at least.
There's so many football stories that we all like that they can make a movie out.
Yeah, but then you can also make up stories. Of course, it doesn't have to be a real story. Look at Rocky Balboa. I don't know, make a Rocky Balboa kind of football story. Or maybe also a problem is maybe that football is really a team sport, and it makes it also a bit more difficult, maybe. But on the other hand, like you also got a lot of American football movies. Yeah, it should be possible.
You know what I always thought was really cool? That you remember, it's a Dutch thing. It's a Dutch comic book. Did you guys ever hear of the Wondersloffer van Shaki?
Of course.
I used to. That was my main comic back in the day. Sorry, Bas.
Let's call them in English the Magic Boots of John.
Yeah, the Magic Boots of John. Yeah, it was a comic about a guy that was a very mediocre or maybe even bad football player. I don't remember exactly. And he found somewhere some really messed up boots somewhere in, I think, next to the football field in the dirt or whatever, on the trash. And he put them on, and the moment when the shoes had their own will, and they could like do some Matrix kind of moves, and he was the best football player in the world.
That's actually cool.
That's a cool story to make a movie out.
Yeah, if you make a fantasy football movie, then that's quite cool. Yeah.
And when I was young, I was always dreaming like I don't have to be a good football player. I just have to have moments that I can score like some football players can do from the midline through in the full in the corner. Like. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So for the viewers, if you like this story, if you think like, I want to see that one time, just keep supporting our channel, give us the money, and we'll make that movie. There we go.
and finally, Koen can score a goal on a football field.
Finally, yeah.
That's what you thought when you were wearing your golden boots on the pitch, or not? You're Wondersloffer.
But it's perfect. Sven can be the director, you can be the actor, and I can be just the guy, like the co-actor,
We keep it in mind. Okay, that's my number 10. We straight got into the top 10. My number 4, the number 10 in our list. If you like this, we do this every week. Please subscribe to the channel, because that means that we can grow our channel and keep making more and more content. Like this video if you liked it.